Hello? Oh, hang on. Hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Right,
Hello.
we good? Right. We're streaming again, and hopefully this time stream won't crash. Okay. We're gonna give it a couple minutes, and then we'll see if the stream crashes, and if it crashes again, I think we should just call it quits, I reckon. For a little bit maybe, but I don't know. Let's see.
Come back for the Man United game.
Potential.
Mercedes are 3 points in front of Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship battle at the moment.
It helps that Sainz is struggling a lot at the moment. Leclerc needs to try and get that win, or Mercedes need to screw up for them not to finish ahead of Ferrari here. And I think Sainz's poor qualifying may have costed Ferrari their place in second in the constructors, and they're going to be livid with that. Even though Leclerc
Rangers still 1-0
down. Still 1-0.
Yeah, still 1-0 to Aberdeen in that one. 10 minutes to go.
I am happy, guys, because I am a Celtic fan. There goes Perez past Alonso. That's more points for McLaren, although that's probably going to go down again because Perez is just working his way up the order, so he'll probably be ahead of Norris by the end of this race, meaning that both Piastri and Norris will drop a couple points on Aston Martin, although they will still be ahead because they are performing better than them. We've got a viewer, finally, and I think our stream might actually be working now, so if it works for over 2 minutes, then I will, hang on.
Um, 26 laps gone. 1-0 to Aberdeen still. Obviously, the goal scorer has come up for Duck. And we are just about 15 minutes away from the most important title decider in MotoGP history, which I'm obviously lying about, but it's an enthralling season there.
Indeed.
And I will be focusing on that in a few minutes' time.
We will, because Luke is going to be covering the MotoGP, and I will be covering the Formula 1. So at the moment, 26 laps.
I got the better deal there. I got the much better deal there covering MotoGP.
He did. We can agree with that. So yeah, the current order is Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Norris, Piastri, Perez, Alonso, Hamilton, Ricciardo, and Tsunoda, and that is the top 10. At the moment, Williams are still technically, as it stands, ahead of AlphaTauri in the constructors, and McLaren are still ahead of Aston Martin. And finally, Mercedes are still ahead of Ferrari. As for the driver's standings, as it stands, the man who will finish fourth in the driver's standings is going to be, I think, Fernando Alonso at the moment, although I'm not completely sure on that. It could be Lando.
Lewis Hamilton's the fastest car on the track now.
Consistently, anyway. Obviously, Perez has fastest
interestingly enough.
At the moment, Hamilton's quickest. Let's see. No, right, I'm looking for the settings. Apologies for having all these technical problems, guys. They're really, really annoying, and I hate them as well. We're just sorting them out because we had technical issues on the last couple of streams. When I mean couple, I mean we tried to stream a couple minutes ago, and it only lasted for a minute before it conked out. Right, so here's Tsunoda getting let through by his teammate, Daniel Ricciardo, playing the teammate game, trying to get Yuki up the order, because Yuki is the quicker driver, I think, in this race. That would be the only explanation as to why, so I'm just going to run with that. I don't actually have the lap times in front of me, so, yeah. Let's see. Luke, could you turn the volume down on the MotoGP?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Copyright reasons,
Yes.
obviously. Right, I've got to try and make this a bit
Well, I
smaller.
mean, unless we get copyrighted by the big man who founded TNT Sports, then I think we're fine. What is that?
I am currently still sorting this out. We are nearly done in terms of sorting it out. I just need to do McLaren, and then that's pretty much it for the important ones anyway. Carlos Sainz has gotten ahead of Nico Hulkenberg, but at the moment, I don't think that's something for him to be bragging about because getting...
That was an absolute hell from McGregor.
What happened with Alan McGregor? Or whoever it was?
Yes, he's tried to pass it to his own. He's tried to pass it to his own teammate, but has passed it out of play. Valentino Rossi being interviewed in the MotoGP grid.
Wait a minute, is Jack Butland no play in?
It's a Botland. Oh yeah, it is Botland. Yeah.
I was gonna say Alan McGregor's retired, is he not? I don't even know if he is. At this
They're the
point.
same. They're the same. I'm convinced they're the same person. They're the same person anyway. Still 1-0 Aberdeen for about 7 minutes was out of time still to come, and a chance for Aberdeen to maybe make it 2-0. That's ended by Rangers, and away they go on the counter attack. Can they at least get a goal to keep the gap between them and Celtic at what it was at the beginning of the match, which was 8 points, I think.
Yep, with 2 games in hand.
9 points.
Well, as it stands, it seems as though Rangers will be closing the gap. Oh, Manchester United women are 1-0 up against Bristol City. I haven't been able to watch the match because I've been sorting all my stuff out. But if I catch a replay of what happened, I think it was a goal from... let's see, I'm trying to fast forward it, but not go after the goal. And it was a goal just on the 50th minute, and it was by Hinata Miyazawa, and it was a deflection. Her first goal for Man United, but it did take a massive deflection, which was why United got the goal in the end there. And I think we're still going. I hope we're still going. I'm just going to double check that our stream is still working fine. Which it is. Okay, good. Our stream is still working. You know, our quality is bad, or more, my quality is bad when we're having to check if the stream's working every now and then. So yeah, we are nearly...
Yeah, halfway through the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix now.
Yes, we are 29 laps in, and here we go. Here's an overtake by Lance Stroll. He is into the points now, and this is going to be crucial for Aston Martin, because if Stroll can get himself up the order, Aston Martin could still have a chance. A very slim chance of that. They do need 11 points on McLaren, and as it stands, McLaren are picking up 20 points in this race. Aston Martin are only picking up 7. So Aston Martin, as it stands, are actually losing 13 points to McLaren. They need to flip the switch in a way and try and, you know, do an Uno reverse card on them essentially. But that is going to be easier said than done for them, because McLaren's car is very, very fast at the moment. Arguably the second fastest car consistently on the grid at the moment. But the driver standings won't tell you that, because of course of the beginning of the season that McLaren had, which was less than ideal, I think is the best way to put it, for them. So yeah, 13, 14. Okay, yeah, I think we're nearly done. We're nearly done on like making the standings better. We're halfway through the race. Lewis Hamilton is hunting down his old teammate and his old championship rival Fernando Alonso in both 2010, of course, which was at Abu Dhabi, which was when the finale was, and in 2007. Both times, of course, neither driver winning the standings in the end. Instead, it was 2 drivers who'd gone to drive for Ferrari. In the end, his teammates Kimi Räikkönen in 2007 and Sebastian Vettel in 2010. Manchester United have just gone 2-0 up, and it's a goal from Nikita Paris. It's a ball in, and Elatoon had it. She played it in, and Nikita Paris headed it past the Bristol City goalkeeper. So Manchester United women 2, Bristol City women 0. So that's the score in that game. All I need to do is just gather AlphaTauri and Williams, I think. Let's see if this will work. I'm trying to get it to work. It's a little bit difficult. And 15. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's perfect, Luke. If you look at my stream, you'll see I've actually got the driver standings like at the back. the back of the standings pretty good in terms of like how accurate they look, etc., and how close they are. Right. Unfortunately, you can't really see them because of my shirt, but yeah, I think I've done a good job on that. But yeah, we've got it good again. Now we can focus on the actual race itself. So yeah, where did I put my drink? Where did I put my drink? I put my drink somewhere. Don't know where. Oh, there it is. But yeah, James Wells is on the pit wall. I don't know what he's saying because we can't listen into it sadly because of copyright reasons. But we are trying our best. 10 minutes until the MotoGP starts, and at the moment the Formula 1 order is the following. So at the moment Max Verstappen leads. He's on for his 4th Abu Dhabi win in a row, winning in 2020, 2021, 2022, and as it stands in 2023. And Man United nearly scored again there. They seem to be absolutely dominating this match, which doesn't surprise me. Bristol City are in a relegation battle. Fernando Alonso has picked up the pace a little bit, and he is closing up on Oscar Piastri. And that's going to be, once again, crucial for the battle against McLaren in the Constructors. I'm just going to check once again the stream is still going. And it is. Okay, it's still going. Just checking it's still going. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to literally put my phone here. And tell you what, I'm actually going to go and watch the Man United game on BBC iPlayer on my computer. I'm going to have to turn the light on in here as well because it's getting quite dark. So give me a sec, guys.
Well, the Valencian national anthem is being played at the Ricardo Tormo circuit, the final race of an enthralling MotoGP championship, which sees the title fight go right down to the wire. Rangers have a chance, and it's been shanked over the bar by their young man
So I'm
in
guessing,
a Rangers kit.
Look, I'm guessing you've completely switched over to the MotoGP now, so I can purely commentate on F1.
No, I've got F1 on my other screen. So
not much is really going on in the Formula 1, guys, as you are probably aware. So there might be audio from the WSL for a second. Is there? Please, no. I don't want to get copyrighted. I do not want to get copyrighted. There we go. I think it's good. Right, there we go. Right, I've got the WSL game on now on my computer. So I'm gonna move that up a little bit. There we go. And I think now the lighting is a little bit better. So I'm just gonna. I think that's good. I have to make sure I don't touch anything because otherwise it will fall off. But yeah, Pierre Gasly now into the pits. He was in 13th place, and it's not a great stop. I think it was.
Liam, just to interrupt you, 5 minutes of out of time in the Aberdeen game, still 1-0 to the home side.
Okay, so it turns out that it actually doesn't look that bad now. Let's see if that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. You can see the top half of my body. That's the whole point. Actually, no, I'll move it in a tiny bit. There we go. That's good. But yeah.
Well then, folks. 33 in F1. Still 1-0. The referee's gone over to the monitor for something.
Lando Norris.
I don't know why he's gone to VAR.
Lando Norris is currently in 4th, and he's going to come into the pits. He's going to be doing an undercut to try and jump.
VAR is reviewing a potential penalty to Rangers.
Of course it is. Biased.
But no, I think it's a shirt pull, but I think that the fall is exaggerated, so I don't think that's a penalty. It's a definite shirt pull, so it could be given.
It is going to get given, let's be honest. The refs love Rangers in Scotland, so Norris has had a very good stop there, 2.3 seconds, and let's see where he comes out. Will he be ahead of Carlos Sainz? Sainz isn't actually in a battle with him. Sainz is actually an entire pit stop behind him because of his poor qualifying. Sainz just does not seem to have the pace here, which is very interesting to think about. He comes out in 10th place, and he is 3 seconds behind Lance Stroll. Esteban Ocon's just behind him. Ocon has fresh tyres, I think. He's got warm tyres, so a disadvantage is going to be had with
and the referee has pointed to the penalty to Rangers.
Of course it is. It's Rangers getting penalties is literally like if you had to have like a bingo list of things for the Scottish Premiership, it would be St Johnstone lose, Rangers get a penalty, Miovski scores, Kyogo scores a tap-in. And by the way, I'm a Celtic fan, but I have to say he is a bit of a tap-in merchant. But, yeah, it's so common, man.
Liam, I'll interrupt because it will be Tavernier, the penalty merchant himself, who steps up to try and rescue at least a point for Rangers, and it might give them the inspiration to go on and win the game. The final race of the MotoGP Championship is coming up in a minute, and it's at 34 in F1. But the stadium waits.
Into the pits.
It is James Tavernier to level the game for Rangers in the 93rd minute. Can he deliver? The Rangers skipper will step up to level the game. He scores 1-1. And the ball is held by the Aberdeen keeper. It's probably going to be kicked down the field relatively shortly. 5-2. MotoGP is about to get underway, but Rangers have at least rescued a point here at Aberdeen. 1-1.
Indeed, and in the Formula 1, George Russell and Lando Norris are dueling for third place in this race. Russell did pit, but he lost a lot of time to Norris because Norris had a very, very good outlap. So that means that, well, a lot can still happen in this race, and Lance Stroll's in front of them, so he's going to be trying his very best to try and help his teammate Fernando Alonso out in this race. As the corner comes in for the Manchester United team, they are still 2-0 up against Bristol City women, and at the moment things are going well for them. They are in control of this match, and there seems to be no going back for them. Header won by Millie Turner. It's not cleared yet, and it's in! But is it going to be offside? Is it offside? I think it is from Ella2. Is it offside? Is it offside? I think it is. It is offside. I thought United had scored there.
Just fire the ball up the field. There probably will be a bit more added time after the VAR checks. The Rangers have all the confidence in the world to go and win this game. And look at the confidence they have. They stride up the field like gazelles. And there might be another twist to the tail. It's a chance. It's a great save. And Aberdeen might just have denied Rangers.
Who's in goal for, is it Lewis or Roos that's in goal for Aberdeen?
I didn't check, but I'm focusing more on the MotoGP still. With about 3 minutes to the warm-up getting underway. And this final race has finally sparked my annual interest in MotoGP again, which will hopefully lead to me watching more races in the next year or so. Final seconds here of what's scheduled to be the 5 minutes of added time. There'll probably be about 6 or 7 though, given the VAR check that happened.
Indeed, Lewis Hamilton has come to the pits as well, and he is now behind Carlos Sainz, as Fernando Alonso is Lance Stroll is passed by George Russell, and then I think Lando Norris is going to follow him on through. I think something's going on in the Man United game. I don't know what it is, but Man United are going to be making a change, and the number 9, Melvin Malar, who's been one of Man United's best players this season, is going to be coming onto the pitch. Duel here between Lance Stroll and Lando Norris, and he's going to be trying his very best to hold him up in this race. And if he can hold him up and help his teammate out, then that would be.
Well, then, folks, I'm going to interrupt Liam because it is time. The MotoGP title decider is about to get underway. Roll the opening titles, and they are pretty much. Yeah, they are pretty much an exact replica of F1. Takaki Nakagami, Alex Marquez, and the rest of the crew are ready for the final Grand Prix of an absolutely amazing season that sees Pecco Bagnaia and Jorge Martin duel for the title. Both Ducati riders. There's Marc Marquez, who's obviously in his final race for Honda. And over the course of the next 50 minutes or so, we will find out whether it will be a second MotoGP title for Pecco Bagnaia, or indeed whether it'll be a first world title for Jorge Martin.
What I've estimated is that based on the lap times of all the cars, we will be watching the Formula 1 for another 35 minutes or so. So that means we will probably get about 50 minutes where we are both just watching the MotoGP. Because George Russell's lap times are about 1:30s, and if we go by that logic, and everyone else being around about the same in terms of lap time.
GP's tried to emulate what F1 did for their title final race graphic in 2021 by having Martin and Bagnaia.
Stop you there. Man United 3-0 up. Nikita Powers has scored, but I think she's got hurt while scoring the goal, and that is not good news for United fans because she has had a very, very good start to the season, and she's in agony, and I hope it's not an ACL injury because ACL injuries, look, as you might know, in women's football are absolutely horrific. It was a fantastic goal. Ella Toon tried to get the shot off, and in the end it ended up going into the
I'll interrupt you there. Full time between Aberdeen and Rangers. The final score 1-1 there. Both Rangers and Celtic dropping points across The across the week
Oh, never
as we are
mind.
about to get ready for Aston Villa.
The goal's been disallowed for offside in the Man United match. I think Nikita Paris was offside, apparently.
There is a minute's applause for Terry Venables at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, of course, former Spurs manager, as the warm-up lap is underway for the GP race of the season. Which side are you on, Team Pekka or Team Bang? Not that. Team Pekka or Team Martin?
Fernando Alonso has just said, we have the slowest car in the straight by far, which is a bit of an indictment, really, on how Aston Martin have fallen down the order over the course of the season. Albon has been given a warning for track limits as Charles Leclerc is now ahead of Yuki Tsunoda in this race. And the Man United.
So here are the permutations then for Pekka Bagnaia to win the championship. He is the world champion if he finishes in the top 5. Simple as that. There's nothing Jorge Martin can do. Champion for Jorge Martin if he wins and Bagnaia doesn't finish inside the top 5. So Martin is a tall order like Ferdinand Vestri had in the F2 race earlier on today, which saw Teo Porcher win the championship, and we'll see him probably take a year out from motorsport. There's the move from, let me see, Charles Leclerc going past, Carlos Sainz going past someone.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was Charles Leclerc, yeah.
Yeah, you're a little bit behind me, maybe. Fernando Alonso is dueling with Lewis Hamilton in this race. What I was going to say, Luke, was I think the best way to put it for our audience is that the only way Martin can actually have a chance of winning the title is if he finishes on the podium. So if Martin...
And obviously, if he finishes third, then obviously Pekka Bagnaia has to finish out of the points, or just 15th to have Martin win his first title. We are ready then. It's decision day. It's gone to the final race quite a few times in MotoGP over the past few years. 2013, 2015, 2017, 2022, and now 2023.
Alonso's
it was Marquez v Lorenzo in 2015, Lorenzo versus Rossi in 2015, Marquez v Dovi in 2017, Bagnaia v Quartararo in 2022. Now the final chapter in 2023. It's Bagnaia versus Martin. All 5 lights are on at the Ricardo Tormo circuit, and we are ready to go in MotoGP. It's not away, yes. Wait. Now we're away. Great start from Bagnaia on the front row. And Bagnaia will probably lead down into turn 1. It's a good start from the 2 KTMs on the front row as well. But Pekka Bagnaia leads down into turn 1. Who's that sauntering up through the field as well? It looks like it's one of the KTMs. As Jorge Martin's not had the best start, had not had the worst start in the world. He is going to be in second place. So the order at the moment is Bagnaia, Martin, the 2 KTMs in third and fourth. Crucially at the moment, Pekka Bagnaia has the start that he needs to retain the MotoGP world title, and we're underway as well at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium between Spurs and Aston Villa. 27 laps left in MotoGP.
Got a yellow flag in sector 2. I don't know who's happened. Oh, Marco Bezzecchi's down. Marco Bezzecchi is down. He is out of the race, although it's not going to matter.
You're supposed to be covering F1, mate. Let me have this moment. Ferrari in front of Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship.
Fine. I will let you cover it. I just wanted to.
Oh, Bezzecchi's in a lot of pain. Seems to be in a lot of pain.
But yeah, there is 19 laps to go in the Formula 1.
Two Marquez brothers swapping positions in 7th and 8th, and Quartararo gets past Nakagami.
I'm going to very quickly stop you there. Sergio Perez is currently in 2nd, but I think he has to pit still. And Charles Leclerc made a lovely little overtake there on the Alpine. But yeah, I'll let you come to it with the rest of the first lap.
So the current race order will go through the top 10. Bagnaia, Martin, Brad Binder and Jack Miller 3rd and 4th on the KTM. Johan Zarco, who won the Phillip Island in 5th. Maverick Vinales, who was originally on pole position but was rendered unable to start from the front row of the grid in 6th. Marc Marquez in his final race for Honda in 7th place. His brother Alex Marquez in 8th. With Aleix Espargaro and Fabio Di Gianantonio rounding at the top 10. And Nea Bastianini in 11th. Fernandes, Luca Marini. Fernandes has just got past Bastianini for 11th place. Paul Espargaro, Franco Morbidelli and Fabio Quartararo in 15th and 16th. Nakagami in 17th. Augusto Fernandez are dropping down to 19th with Alex Rins, and 18th with Lucas Savadori. In 20th and last place, Marco Bezzecchi is out of the race after his crash on the opening lap. 26 laps to go. Pekka Bagnaia is the champion as it stands, but Jorge Martin will look to try and at least win the race to salvage a bit of pride. And the incident involving Marquez and Bezzecchi on the opening lap, that's Marc Marquez, not Alex Marquez, is currently under investigation.
So, in the Formula 1 at the moment, so Luke's obviously given the championship permutations as it stands in MotoGP. In Formula 1 at the moment, as it stands, Mercedes will finish ahead of Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship, although it is going to be a very interesting into this race because there are so many different strategies going on here. Perez isn't pitted, Sainz isn't pitted, and yeah, at the moment the order is in total disarray. At the moment it looks as though AlphaTauri is going to beat Williams. However, Tsunoda I think still has to make one more pit stop, And yeah, the battle for fourth in the driver's standings is looking as though it will end up going to Charles Leclerc or George Russell in the end. Man United trying to get a third there, but they are unable to. I'm quickly going to see. So as it stands, actually, I think Lando Norris is going to be getting fourth place in the driver's
Oh,
standings.
Bagnall was a bit wide from turn 14, and Martin might have a chance to slipstream down the front straight and take the lead. Both riders are reaching 300 kilometers an hour, and
Actually,
the rocket in the straight. And they.
I've got something really big to tell you.
Oh, contact!
Oh,
Martin's gone wide. Oh dear. And that might be it. He's not out of the race, but he's gone very badly wide. Martin falling down the field.
And that is not going to.
And he's down to 8. What's up, Liam? What did you interrupt me to speak about?
What I was going to say was as it stands, Leclerc and Norris are tied for fourth in the driver's standings. They're 3 points ahead of Sainz and Alonso. Although I think Sainz is in 9th at the moment, so at the moment they're 1 point ahead of Sainz. So it'll come down to it's tiebreaker as it stands, unless Leclerc can finish 2nd or Norris can finish 5th. Norris is right behind Tsunoda, so if he can get ahead here, he will move ahead of Leclerc. And as it stands, like I said, it is a tiebreaker. But if Norris can get ahead of Tsunoda, he will move 2 points ahead of Leclerc and 3 points ahead of Carlos Sainz. But Sainz is wondering what his actual race is.
He's quite calm at the moment. His heart rate at 137 beats per minute. That massive moment in this incredible title race.
Look, here goes Lando Norris. Lando Norris is now up into 5th. He's ahead of Yuki Tsunoda, and as it stands, he will claim his best ever finish in the driver's standings.
Mate, I'm at turn 5. I'm at turn 5 at the moment. You'll need to pause again.
Okay. I'll rewind it back.
I'm at turn 5. Yeah. Just go to
or
yeah, I'm on the backs right now, and Norris has just got past. So
okay, right. I think I am back in sync with you now.
We're synchronized enough.
Yeah, we're synchronized again.
So Pecco Bagnaia leading the race from Brad Binder and Jack Miller on the 2 KTMs. Johan Zarco's in 4th, Marc Marquez and Maverick Vinales is 5th and 6th, Alex Marquez in 7th. Jorge Martin from 2nd down to 8th, and that might just be it for his championship challenge. He does move up to 7th, though, getting past his Ducati. Well, how do I say it? He's not his teammate, but his Ducati buddy, we'll say, Alex Marquez.
Stablemate, I think is the term to use.
Yeah, stable pals, seeing as they're both on Ducatis.
And Sergio Perez has now come into the pit, so Charles Leclerc is back ahead of Lando Norris as it stands. However, if Perez does come out behind Norris, Norris will still be ahead of Leclerc. So if Perez can be the deciding factor in who finishes 4th in the driver's standings here, because if he can pass Norris, be behind Leclerc, Leclerc will finish ahead. Lance Stroll's come into the pit, so Sainz and Alonso are both going to move up the order as well. But at the moment, I believe it will be Lando Norris who finishes 4th in the driver's standings, because he is in 4th place. Sainz, Leclerc, I should say, is in 2nd. And Max Verstappen is also coming into the pits from the race lead.
Well, I'm going to say that the live championship of MotoGP with Pecco Bagnaia and 467 points. He's absolutely smashed the points record held by Marc Marquez in 2019, partially because of the sprints, but we'll ignore that with Jorge Martin 30 points behind and needing a miracle with 23 laps to go. However, Martin was about 6/10 quicker on that last lap. 1st and 7th, both protagonists in the MotoGP title battle are at the moment.
Yes, and so Leclerc is in 2nd place at the moment, so he is picking up 18 points. That move him on to 206.
Lovely move from Martin, past Maverick Vinales on the Aprilia there, but Vinales will try and fight back and will just about get the place back. Yeah, he's remains in 6th.
Is this the battle for 8th place in the race, or has Martin moved up places?
Battle for 6th. Battle for 6th.
So Martin has moved up a couple places since the incident. He is trying to fight his way back through the order and get himself back into contention, but as I was going to say, at the moment, Norris is 1 point ahead of, I think it is Carlos Sainz or Leclerc. It's Leclerc is 1 point ahead of at the moment. So Leclerc is going to need to pull his finger out and try and win this race, because that's the only way he can finish at the moment. And Man United are nearly 3-0 up. It's off the crossbar and cleared, but it's only as far as Jade Riviere. Bristol City trying to counter-attack here, and they've still got the ball. They're trying their very best to counter-attack. I think that's Haley Ladd who's putting a really good tackle there and stop Man United from counter-attacking, but it was a really good chance for United there to nearly go 3-0 up. Here comes Sergio Perez. He's right behind Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh, that's a big move there from Jorge Martin, I think. No, Johan Zarco, sorry, who's got past Marc Marquez to move into 4th.
And just further back.
And you'd like to think whenever Martin gets up to Zarco, that Zarco will gracefully let his teammate past.
However,
to
you wonder if he would do that or not, based on the fact that he is not staying at Ducati next year, and he's got, I wonder if he would actually.
Oh, and Martin moves into P6. There's a bit of a kerfuffle between Zarco. Yes, there's a bit of a kerfuffle between Zarco Marquez and Martin and Vinales. Oh! Massive crash! Marquez is down in his final race. And so is Johan Zarco. Wait, no, it's Martin's out.
Oh my goodness, Martin's out.
Vinales won the championship.
Jorge Martin is out.
Vinales won the championship.
Is the world champion. And that is big,
Vinales moved down to 2nd.
Big news.
Vinales moved down to 2nd. Brad Binder's taking the lead.
He was doing far too many dodgy moves, Martin. Did you see him in the first corner when he got sucked into the back of him?
Yeah. And that is big news. Pecco Bagnaia is...
He'll get told that he's on his bike.
Pecco Bagnaia is a 2-time MotoGP champion. And that, ladies and
gentlemen... Yeah, he's out. He's on the buggy now.
And here's Fernando Alonso trying to get past Carlos Sainz. At the moment, Ferrari would be ahead of Mercedes.
You will see on Bagnaia's pitboard in a minute, number whatever Martin is, out. And you will probably see a little shake of an ecstatic shake of the head by Pecco Bagnaia. There it is, Martin out. And you might well see Pecco Bagnaia celebrating to himself. Davide Tardozzi's go over to the Pramac Racing box to commiserate with Jorge Martin's crew, because that's the 2nd world title for Pecco Bagnaia. A slight lackluster into the World Championship, but no matter.
Indeed, and it's a very anticlimactic ending, but he was the favourite, and that is how it's ended in the end. If Fernando Alonso can get ahead of Carlos Sainz here, then the order will once again be switched in the constructors, because Mercedes would be finishing 3rd behind Ferrari as it stands. However, if Fernando Alonso can get ahead of Carlos Sainz here, that will change. And guess who else is behind Fernando Alonso, Luke? None other than Sir Lewis Hamilton. So if Hamilton can jump both of them, Mercedes would once again be in the driving seat to finish runners-up in the Constructors' Championship for the first time.
He doesn't have long left, not 46 or 58 there. And Jorge Martin is understandably very, very, very angry at the moment. Let's take a look at the replay of this incident again. Marquez, it's a huge high side for Marquez after him. He makes contact, and then Martin just goes straight into the tyre barrier as well.
So I'm guessing Martin...
It's terrible for Martin. It's an absolutely massive high side for Marquez. However, Martin has received a standing ovation for taking someone out. I don't know why he's received a standing ovation for that, but...
to be fair,
this
is one of his home races. You got to remember that he is loved in Spain.
Yeah, Bagnaia's got 3rd now. He will not care. It's a KTM 1-2 at the moment. Brad Binder, Jack.
And look, I'm just going to quickly interrupt you. Fernando Alonso is now ahead of Carlos Sainz, so Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz are battling for 9th place here, and this is going to be crucial. As it stands, Lando Norris is 1 point ahead of Charles Leclerc. If Fernando Alonso can move up 2 more places, he will get ahead of both of them again. He needs to get ahead of Oscar Piastri and Yuki Tsunoda. He needs to close 8 seconds on them and hope Lewis Hamilton does not get past him. Or hope that Sergio Perez gets past Lando Norris, and that looks like it's going to happen soon. And as it stands, it looks as though Charles Leclerc will get ahead in the Drivers' Championship if Perez can get ahead of Lando Norris here. He's in the slipstream of Lando Norris as they head onto the back straight. And I don't know if I've disconnected or if Luke has. Luke has disconnected. He will be rejoining me in a second, I hope, guys. And things are going very, very well at the moment for Ferrari. And down the inside goes Sergio Perez. And there's contact! There's contact! But Piastri has to go off. Norris, sorry, has to go off. They're still going. But it's very, 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 very dangerous stuff here. Here comes Lewis Hamilton trying to get past Carlos Sainz. This would switch the tide of the constructor standings battle between Ferrari and Mercedes, and this is going to be very important in prize money for both teams, as well as wind tunnel time and so much more. There are so many different factors which are decided by constructor championship finishes. And around the outside goes Hamilton. Hamilton is now ahead of Carlos Sainz. He's gone around the outside. Sainz is fighting it, but Hamilton is ahead, and Lewis Hamilton is up into 9th. And Mercedes are back. You will
definitely need to pause again, Liam. You'll definitely need to pause.
Okay. Let me know where you
Where
are.
are you at the moment?
I am.
I'm currently coming down.
Where are
I'm
you?
down the back straight between Hamilton and Sainz as Hamilton's got past.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're on the same bit now again. Is he heading into the last sector now?
Yes. Just where are you? What corner?
I am heading into the left-hander in the last sector.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
And they're showing a replay now of Norris and Perez. So
Yeah, perfect.
So here's a replay, and the incident has been noted for causing a collision. And if Perez can get ahead of Norris here, that would be massively helpful for both Charles Leclerc, I should say, and Fernando Alonso. Perez saying he just turned into me. I think that personally was a racing incident, and there's been an incident in the Man United game. I think there's been an injury. Bristol City players are getting a team talk, and we've got here we go, here goes Perez down the inside of Lando Norris. He gets ahead, and Charles Leclerc is going to be rejoicing at that. Well, no, he won't actually, because he said he doesn't care about finishing fourth in the driver's standings. But as it stands, that is what's going to happen. And Oscar Piastri has now got past Yuki Tsunoda as well. So that's going to be really crucial for the battle between McLaren and Aston Martin. And Norris is trying to fight back against Perez, but it's not worked out for him in the end. So at the moment, McLaren...
And now Bastianini's crashed.
Oh, and where was he? 9th or 8th in the race?
That is a very much a skill issue from the second Ducati rider who has not really lived up to expectations this season.
He did win last time round, but of course he has had injuries which have affected him. As it stands, Luke, if you want an update, Mercedes are 2 points ahead of Ferrari, and McLaren are still ahead of Aston Martin. And as for the drivers, Lando Norris, because he's been overtaken by Sergio Perez, is now behind Charles Leclerc in the live driver standings and 1 point ahead of Fernando Alonso. But I think Alonso getting past Sainz has helped him out in that, so I don't know if he is ahead of him. I will have to do the math very quickly. So Alonso's picking up 4 points at the moment, so he's on 204. Charles Leclerc's picking up 18 points, he's on 206. And Lando Norris is picking up 10 points, he is on 205. So as it stands, Norris is 1 point ahead of Fernando Alonso. Alonso is closing up quite a lot on Tsunoda. He's only 5.8 seconds behind him now. Earlier on he was about 8 seconds back, I think. Unless I got that confused with a 5. I don't think I did though. So he's closing up a lot on him in this race. But overall, it's been a very interesting race of strategy. And at the moment, the order is Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Perez, Norris, Piastri, Tsunoda, Alonso, Hamilton, and Sainz. Hamilton's not able to make an impression on Alonso at the moment. And Alonso is the main person to watch out for, because if he can get past Yuki Tsunoda here, he will jump to 4th in the driver's standings ahead of Charles Leclerc. And if Sergio Perez has something to say about it, then maybe something else will also happen in that regard. And here we go. Here's a really important overtake. Not. And that is Alex Albon getting past Nico Hülkenberg. As it stands, AlphaTauri will not get ahead of Williams. They'll be 1 point behind them. And once again, as I keep saying, it is crucial for prize money and for wind tunnel time. And if you're wondering why wind tunnel time is so important, it means that they can get more information about how the car does in relation to aerodynamical drag and all sorts of aerodynamical stuff that I don't understand, because I didn't take STEM subjects apart from math. So yeah, I'm not the person to ask about this sort of stuff. The person to ask about this sort of stuff is probably someone who knows about aerodynamics. But here's Lance Stroll right behind Esteban Ocon. He is trying to get up the order and get up into the points to try and help Aston Martin, but at the moment it is futile, as they are 11 points behind McLaren, and if you include today's points, they are another 14 they are losing, so that means they are 25 back. Stroll gets through on Ocon. Now he needs to try and close up on Sainz, although that is going to be easier said than done. Although then again, Sainz is on slightly older tyres, so perhaps he could in the end get ahead of him. Man United are trying to get 3-0 up here. Melvin Mallard gets a shot blocked, and yeah, I don't know what's happened to Luke. I don't know if I'm still in the call or if he can't hear me, or I think he's disconnected from the call. Luke needs to go, and it'll just be me for a couple of hours, guys. So yeah, I'm by myself. I may as well just unplug this because there's nobody I'm talking to now. So, hello everybody, it's just me now. Yeah, I'm going to be trying to watch F1 and MotoGP at the same time, although it is going to be slightly tricky. And there's a replay of Marc Marquez crying in agony. At the moment it's a 1-2 for KTM. Binder ahead of Miller. So then it's Bagnaia and trying not to spill. Has it spilled? No, it hasn't. Hang on, I'm just readjust that. There we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna try and place this somewhere. Probably try and place it. Does that work? No, it doesn't. I'm trying to find somewhere good to place it. Bingo, got it. Right, there we go. Right, so at the moment, Binder leads 1 second ahead of Miller, and looks like rejoined. The call. Oh no, he's in. I think we've ended the call. He's gonna call me back at 4:30, which is in 2 hours' time. So I'm gonna be by myself for the next 2 hours, guys. 4:30 is when the Man United game starts, so he'll rejoin for that. At the moment in the Manchester United women's game, it is currently 2-0 still. And on that break, we're probably just gonna sit and chill. I might just lie down and we might just have a little chit chat, you know, casual kind of thing. But yeah, Man United trying to win the ball back, and I'm having to flick between 3 different things here. Tell you what, I think my stream is going fine at the moment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna. Actually, no, I'll keep watching it because the delay on the F1 is bad. So, so at the moment, Charles Leclerc is still running in second place in this race, which is going to be very helpful for him because he is at the moment going to finish 4th in the driver's standings because Lando Norris is going to be on 205 points. However, Charles Leclerc is going to be on 206. So Leclerc will be 1 point ahead. Fernando Alonso is only picking up 4 points. He'll be on 204, and Carlos Sainz is picking up 1 point. As it stands, AlphaTauri are getting 6 points for Yuki Tsunoda. However, Fernando Alonso is rapidly closing in. If Alonso can move up to 7th place, he will go tied on points with Charles Leclerc, and it'll come down to a tiebreaker, which I think Charles Leclerc would win, but I'm not entirely sure on that because it comes down to 2nd places between them. I'm probably going to go and close my door in a sec. But Man United was trying to get a 3rd here. Ball comes into the box, and it's headed, and it's saved by the goalkeeper. It's out for a corner kick. And I'm going to quickly go and, I'm going to quickly go and check on how many 2nd places Charles Leclerc's had, and he has had 1. Fernando Alonso has had 3, I think. Let me have a check. I don't know if that's how many he's actually had. Let me have a look. Charles Leclerc's had 2 2nd places. Fernando Alonso has had 3, so it'd come down to 3rd places. Charles Leclerc has had 3 3rd places. Fernando Alonso has had 5. So, at the moment, if Fernando Alonso gets ahead of Yuki Tsunoda and it ends the way it is, Fernando Alonso would finish 4th in the Drivers' Championship on tiebreaker, coming down to 3rd placed finishes, which just shows how competitive Formula 1 can be at times. As despite all the Red Bull dominance, a lot can still happen. So here comes Sergio Perez. He's right behind George Russell in this race. We're on lap 54 out of 58. We've got 5 laps left of the Formula 1 season, and I think this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix has been maybe a 6 out of 10. It's not been amazing, but it's been all right. I think it's a typical Abu Dhabi race, I'd say. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try out something. So I'm gonna just gonna sit and chill. I'm a bit cold at the moment, so I'm gonna put a blanket over me. You guys can't see it though. Yeah, I'm just chilling. We've only got 1 viewer at the moment, but it's fine. I don't really care about viewers, to be honest. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to just have a bit of fun and enjoy streaming. Yeah. At the moment, lap 54 at 58. Max Verstappen's going to start lap 55 any second now, and the battle between Russell and Perez is going on. At the moment, Yuki Tsunoda is winning driver of the day, and down the inside goes Sergio Perez, and he's up into 3rd place. He's up into the podium places, and now he's going to try and hunt down Charles Leclerc. And if he gets past Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso will have the advantage. Alonso is almost within DRS of Tsunoda now, And these last 5 laps could decide many things in the driver's standings and potentially even in the constructor's standings as well. However, 11 points between McLaren and Aston Martin, and it's actually gone up because Lance Stroll is currently in 11th place and Oscar Piastri is in 6th. Lando Norris is in 5th and Fernando Alonso is in 8th. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed these graphics. It took me a while to make them. I had to work on them while doing the stream. Once this is done, which will be in 4 laps time, I will switch over. And Fernando Alonso, there he is. He's just outside of a second of Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda is pulling that AlphaTauri really, really hard. He's trying his very best to keep ahead of Fernando Alonso in this race. And it's been an absolutely fantastic race between in this fight anyway, because there's been so much confusion going on. As it stands, Ferrari are ahead of Mercedes again because Perez got past Russell. Ferrari are now 1 point ahead of Mercedes, and that is what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to 1 or 2 points in this, and that is what I love about Formula 1, the competitive nature of it. Obviously, we don't have it for the top of the standings, unlike we did in 2021 or 2018 or 2017 or 2016 or 2015 or 2014, but it's still competitive, and I love that about Formula 1. Here comes Fernando Alonso. Is he going to be able to get past Yuki Tsunoda? Lance Stroll's trying to get up into the points here. It's not going to be enough for Aston Martin. They would need a McLaren retirement to even have a chance. And even then, they'd still be behind because they need to get another 10 points on them. Yeah, the only way they're going to finish ahead is if both the McLarens are out of the race. Because that would get Alonso up into 6th and Stroll to 9th. And that'd be 10 points. Even then, they'd still need another point. But Alonso's going to get past Tsunoda soon, so that would be... Yeah, he'd move up to 5th, so that'd be 10, and then that would be 12. Yeah, the only way for Aston Martin to beat McLaren is if there's a retirement, and that's not going to happen, probably. So, yeah, stream's still going, which is good. And we are still running consistent here. Man United are still 2 up. West Ham are 2-0 down against Arsenal, and Chelsea are 1-0 up against 2-0 up, I should say, against Leicester. But in the Man United game, oh, it's paused it for me. There's going to be 4 minutes of added time, and in the Formula 1, there is a battle going on between Sainz and Stroll. Alonso's trying to catch Tsunoda, and he's really close to him. I don't know why the TV cameras are looking at Sainz. I think they're going to pit him and try and get fastest lap. But here comes Lance Stroll. He's right behind him. Is he going to be able to get ahead? Lance Stroll just a little bit too far back for now. And actually, Man United are in the last minute of added time. They've won the game. They've definitely won the game. There was 4 minutes of added time. So as it stands, and there goes Fernando Alonso past Yuki Tsunoda, and that is crucial, because if Fernando Alonso can stay ahead of Yuki Tsunoda, he will finish 4th in the driver's standings as things stand. He will be getting 6 points, which will be enough at the moment, and this is absolutely nuts, guys, honestly. Fernando Alonso gets ahead of Yuki Tsunoda, and that moves him on to 206. Charles Leclerc at the moment is on 206. Lando Norris is on 205. And George Russell is out of it, so he doesn't matter. And Carlos Sainz is on 200. So as it stands, Fernando Alonso will finish 4th on countback against Charles Leclerc. And this is absolutely mental. Lance Stroll now into the points. However, it's not going to matter for Aston Martin because they will finish behind McLaren at the moment. Tell me the gap between Checo and Russell. If there's less than 5 seconds, I will give him the slipstream and let him past. There's less than 5 seconds. I'll give him the stream and let him pass. What's Leclerc on about? Is the gap less than 5 seconds between Perez and Russell? Oh, that must be an outdated message about how like Perez was behind Russell. That must be from ages ago. But yeah, we're heading on to the final lap of the season now, and Formula 1 2023. It's been a season mostly of dominance. Max Verstappen, the first driver to lead 1,000 racing laps in a season. But it's still been a memorable season nonetheless. We had the amazing race in Silverstone, where the McLarens fought the Red Bull of Verstappen for the win. We had, of course, Singapore, where Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris and George Russell duelled for the win. We had Brazil, the amazing battle between Fernando Alonso and Sergio Perez for that podium place, and we have this race and the battle for second in the constructors. Charles Leclerc is now behind Sergio Perez in this race, and I have no idea why he's done that, because well, 4 points, 15, 12. Why have Ferrari done that? There were 4 points. Why has Leclerc done that? 4 points behind. 12, 14. Leclerc's only picking up 15 points in the stance. Why have Ferrari done that? I have no idea why Ferrari have done that. I have no idea why Ferrari have done that. That is really confusing me. Ferrari just bottled second. What's happened there? Right, Verstappen wins, but why on earth has Leclerc done that? Why has Charles Leclerc done that? I am so confused right now. Why is Leclerc let through Perez there? As Fernando Alonso... Oh, Lewis Hamilton's dropping down the order. And I don't know why he was dropping down the order on there, because he was already 9th, so I don't know why that was happening. But yeah, here comes Lewis Hamilton. He's right behind Yuki Tsunoda. He's trying to get ahead of him, and Fernando Alonso is going to claim 4th in the driver's standings. Here comes around the final corner. Fernando Alonso finishes 4th in the driver's standings. McLaren beat Aston Martin. Mercedes beat Ferrari, I think. And that is the end of the 2023 Formula 1 season. I don't know what happened to Charles Leclerc. Did he let him through, or did he make a mistake? He just let him through. Why did he let him through? Why have Ferrari done that? That makes no sense to me. But yeah, there's a replay of Hamilton getting through, and that wayward moment there, that costed him dearly in this race. But yeah, we're going to switch over now to the MotoGP, and we can conclude the Formula 1 season. And yeah, I'm going to switch over to the football now, and that's a bit of a mistake there. Hang on a second. Gonna hide that real quick and try and sort out that video capture device. This, there we go. And what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to reload the other settings. But yeah, that's the end of the Formula 1 season, guys. Who's down? Someone's gone down in the race. I don't know who it is. I've just heard my dad shouting. Someone's gone down. Rins is out. Pecco Bagnaia is in the race lead. And I think he was on about Binder. Yeah, he was on about Binder. I think Miller's out, sorry. Miller's out of the race. So now the order is Bagnaia, Zarco, Binder, De Gianantonio, Alex Marquez, Vinales, Espargaro, Raul Fernandes, and then it's Morbidelli, Marini, Espargaro, Paul Espargaro, Fabio Quartararo, Taka Nakagami, and Lorenzo Savadori. Right, let me just make new sources. Hello, Luke. It's not that. I'm looking for the football ones.
Leon, I can't play on my own.
Oh.
Leon.
Yeah.
I can't play on my own.
Well, Liam's busy right now. Right. Just sorting this out, guys. Hang on a sec. Lineups. Away. Yeah, there we go. And, well, it's not the away lineups, it's the home lineups, but I couldn't be bothered to edit it, so. Right, there we go. I'm just trying to find the. There we go. And I think that's it. Is that it? Yep. I'm gonna change my shirt because it has a kit clash with the Everton stuff. And then finally we've got the goals ones. Let's see, goals. There we go. And then we're gonna move that right to the middle, right there. Increase that. Put it up at the top. And then we're gonna do the same for Everton's. So we're nearly done at getting the football one set up, guys. Just give me a moment, and we will be set up for the football. I just need to do that. Increase Everton's. Oh. No, I don't want that. I want that. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to do that. That's my dad's phone. It'll expire. But yeah, I'm sorting out graphics. They look the same size to me, so that's good. Just moving that. Oh, that's my webcam. Yeah, so I just need to sort out the score ones, and then that'll be it. And then we can just chill and watch MotoGP and the football. So that'll be a lot more casual. Goals, nope. Score one, there we go. Right, score one. So I'll get, and then score two. Hang on, score two. Right, I'm gonna have a little look at Twitter and see what's going on with the whole shenanigans in the last lap of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Ah, Perez had a penalty, that's why. So Leclerc did finish ahead in the end. Perez had a penalty, which was why. So yeah, that was the end of the season. This is so accurate. Peter Brook said, "Tell me the truth. I'm ready to hear it. Max has beaten Vettel's win record," and then it's Mary Jane going like this from Spider-Man. But yeah, Alonso has finished 4th in the driver's standings, and Mercedes did finish ahead of Red Bull. I think it did finish ahead of Ferrari, I think, in the end, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll have a little look at the F1 social media stuff. I don't think I can see it. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I don't know why all that stuff happened. I'm trying to figure out like what the actual results were then. But yeah, MotoGP currently happening. Oh, I did not mean to turn the volume up there. So yeah, Jorge Martin did retire early on. We're not watching the football, by the way. This is just to be prepared for the football. Tell you what, right? I'll just... I just want the default setting. Nope, not that either. Again, don't want that. All of them are having the exact same problem. Yeah, so I'm just gonna make a new scene. I just realised you guys won't be able to hear me for a minute. Oh! And that's Paul Spargo. Paul Spargo's out of the race. What's happened here? Oh, it's a high-speed one. He's okay, but yeah. That was a high-speed one. He lost the bike. This is a bit weird. What do I do for this? Right. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make a new scene and then... There we go, I think you can hear me now. I'm just gonna go full screen and we can just chill. I think we're good. I'll go and check the audio one more time. But yeah, De Antonio is now ahead of Binder, and we've got a three-way fight for the win here between Johan Zarco, Pecco Bagnaia, and Fabio De Antonio.
There we go, I think you can hear me.
Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, right, we're just chilling. So, yeah, right. Battle going on here. De Antonio could take his second win in a row. Oh, hang on, guys. I'm trying to move this closer. Hello. Right. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to do here. What I might do is I might actually just lie back and have it on my lap. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Hang on, guys. If it falls one more time, then it falls. Oh, I'm trying to make it a bit more comfortable. There we go. And now I think maybe I can try and hang on a sec, guys. I'll be one more minute. I'm just trying to. Just trying to keep everything afloat. Hang on. There we go. Hello. Just chilling. But yeah, how have your days been? Probably just gonna tell you what I might do. I might actually just. So yeah, Pecco's still leading. De Antonio's second now. He got past Zarco. It looks as though De Antonio might win his second Grand Prix in a row, I think. Both him and Bastianini won recently, and I was trying to remember who won the last one out of the two. But yeah, that's Fernando Alonso got fourth in the Drivers' Championship. I'm trying to see what it actually finished like in the end, but it's a bit difficult to find. Yeah, I don't know if I should like play games or not, because like I'm on my mum's computer at the moment, so I can't really play games on that. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, Verstappen's won all but 3 races this season. That's nuts. He didn't win in Saudi Arabia or Baku or in Singapore. He won 19 races this season. 19. That is mental. Absolutely mental. But yeah, I think I don't know what the standings actually look like now, because it's been a bit confusing about the whole F1 situation with Leclerc. Oh, here we go. I've got it here. So in the end, oh no, that was before the weekend, not after it. And this is so annoying. Just like when am I going to be able to see what the actual standings are? In the end, it's difficult to see. I can't really see them. It's a bit annoying. But yeah, Francesco Bagnaia wins to end the season off. He is the world champion, and Ducati are buzzing. He is a 2-time champion. Fabio De Antonio ends the season off with a second place finish for him, and Johan Zarco ends his career with Ducati with a third, and that is a very, very, very good, very anticlimactic conclusion, I suppose, to the MotoGP World Championship. And that podium for Fabio De Antonio is his second in a row and his third of the season. His last time round, of course, he won in Qatar. It was the round before that was won by Enea Bastianini. So I got it wrong when I said Bastianini won last time round. It was actually the round before that. But yeah, Manchester United just had a little cruise, to be fair, in their game against Bristol City Women. They ended up winning 2-0 in the end, and Brad Binder overtook Fabio Quartararo for 10th in the championship, I think. So oh wait, no, he retired, didn't he? He retired, didn't he? So he didn't actually. But yeah, that's the. Now we're just sort of relaxing, I suppose. I've got my water here, and I'm actually under the covers. You guys don't actually know it, but I'm under the covers up until my legs. Luke will be back in about an hour and a half, so I'm currently just looking for the TV remote, and I'm going to switch over to the Spurs game against Aston Villa. So there we go. And Spurs are 1-0 up at the moment. We're trying to make it 2-0 here. I think Son might have been offside there, but I don't know if he was. He scored. Is he offside? My dad's behind. Pickford wins the World Championship, and Son was offside in the end, I think. Was he? Yeah, he's quite a bit off. I thought he was, and that goal's been disallowed. I thought he was offside, and he was in the end. Spurs did go 2-0 up there, but oh, hang on, I accidentally kind of screwed up a little bit there. Yeah, it was a good offside trap from Villa there. They were playing a very high line against Spurs, which is very dangerous in my opinion to do. But it did work for them in the end, so that's all that matters for them. They're going to try and... This is a bit annoying. Is that better? I think that's better. Was it like that? Okay, I'll move it down a little bit. There we go. Now my head's properly in frame. But yeah. I don't know if it's going to say... Yeah, I'm still confused about that. About like what the actual championship results were. Hopefully the Wikipedia page has updated it, because I really need to know. Still not updated it yet. Okay. Apparently Leclerc finished ahead of Alonso, but that makes no sense, because Leclerc had 2 second places. Alonso, well, he had 3 technically if you include this time round. Alonso had 3 second places, and then if you go back even further on count back to third places, Alonso's had 5, Leclerc's had 4. So I don't know why it's saying that Leclerc's ahead of Alonso, because he's not. Alonso had more third places, because that's what it goes down to on count back. I mean, it says here, in the case of a tie on points, a countback system is used with the driver with the most wins, but neither Leclerc nor Alonso won this season is ranked higher. If the number of wins is identical, then the number of second places is considered, and so on. So, that's confusing. I don't know why it says Leclerc's ahead of Alonso, because he wasn't, I don't think. Right, they've shown the race results. I'm convinced Ferrari wanted P3 in the championship. Why did they do that to Carlos, is what Formula God's commented on that. Which is, yeah, that's quite accurate. Pedro Porro's down injured here. He's getting treatment. Oh, he'll be fine. Most of them just dive a lot, to be honest. But,
The main statement is that we always pick Ferrari because most beautiful men are around there. Are we forgetting about the others? If I want to see a good-looking man, I can go watching a movie with Cillian Murphy. I can go on social media. Why should I spend a whole weekend if good-looking men in cars didn't?
this is so true, F1 Sylvia. But, yeah. Not much is really going on. Spurs are 1-0 up. I don't know who's actually scored for them. I'm guessing it was Son, but I could be wrong. I'll have a quick look, guys. I'll get off my phone in a minute. I know you guys have probably had enough of me sitting on my phone, so I will get off it in a sec. Who scored? It was Giovanni Lo Celso actually that scored. I'm surprised it was him. But yeah, Lo Celso was the one who scored. Tell you what, I'm going to put on my screen capture. display capture, that's it. Right, so now you can see my screen. Hang on, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to add another video capture device, because there we go. Okay, so now it should be working. Alright, hang on. I have a microphone on the mouse pad there. Why isn't it? Right, I'm trying to find... Why isn't it letting me... Oh wait, hang on, that's why. Right, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to just hold my microphone here, I think. There we go. Right, so yeah, this is what the standings were before the race, and if I refresh it now, maybe now they'll come up. And it'll still say... Yeah, see, look, there you go, there it is, right, there's the updated standings. So Fernando Alonso did finish 4th in the end. Leclerc 5th. Norris 6th, Sainz 7th. And then the constructors, in the end, McLaren did beat Aston Martin, but obviously they haven't updated that yet, because they were 11 points ahead before. So yeah, Alonso has gotten 4th in the standings. That's his best finish since I think the 2012 season. I don't even think he finished 4th in 2013. Did he? Oh yeah, he did. I think he finished runner-up in 2013, didn't he? Or was that Lewis that finished runner-up? Yeah, Fernando did finish runner-up in 2013. So this is his best finish since the 2013 season. He got 240 points that season, and then this season he got 206. But obviously we had sprints as well. So once you take that into account, he's actually, you know, he's probably scored a lot less. Plus he didn't win like he did in 2013. He won in Spain in 2013. So see, as you can see there, Luke's gonna rejoin at 4:30. So yeah, not really much is going on. I'm gonna take a break from this for a little bit, probably. Just gonna go and do some quizzes maybe. If you guys want me to watch anything, react to anything, please let me know. So yeah, tell you what, actually, we'll have a look and see if there's anything on YouTube I can watch, and I might react to it. I'm just gonna quickly see if this is actually showing this stuff. Let me see if this is working. I'll need to make my thing a little bit smaller, I reckon. This. Oh, no, that. Yeah, a little bit smaller. There we go. Try it now. So let's have a look and see if there's any videos I can react to. Let's see. I'm trying to find something Formula 1 related so I can react to, if that makes sense. Can't buy me lunch, that's quite funny. The Ruttles. Oh, Villa have scored. Villa have equalised. And it's Pau Torres. It's 1-1. Pau Torres has scored. But, yeah. I'm going to see if there's anything I can actually react to. Tell you what. If I am going to react to something, I might as well just plug this in, right? Go ahead and plug that in. How do I plug this in? I can plug in on this side, do I? Is that it? There we go, I've got it. Right, so I'm also going to see very quickly if I've got the audio output. I don't think I do, so I'll get that enabled, because then you guys can hear the video that I'm actually watching. There we go, got it. This is my Streamlabs thing, guys. So yeah, we're gonna watch some videos and react to them, I suppose. Let's see what we've got. Let's have a look at my subscriptions tab and see what F1 YouTubers are having little chats and stuff like that. About races and stuff like that. Let's see. I want to see if there's anything I can react to. I might have a look at my homepage actually. My homepage is probably better. I'll go really far down, see if I can find anything. To be fair, I don't really watch much F1 related content anymore. I think you guys will be surprised by that, but I don't actually watch a lot of F1 content. So yeah, I more just watch like videos about like general stuff, if that makes sense. Like I really like watching Pyrocynical. I think his videos are pretty cool. Yeah. Trying to see if there's anything I can react to here. This Formula 1 related anyway. Let's see. All these are just Fortnite or... Sorry, I'll type in F1 and I'll see what comes up. That's probably just the best way to do it. Oh, mine comes up. It's quite funny. Let's see if anything will come up. Extended highlights. F1 Iceberg. Peter Brook's channel is very good. I don't know if does he mention the one I had that I put forward. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know
BP is working to roll out EV charging hubs in the UK, like opening the UK's.
Right. So I'm trying to see if I'll see the one that I mentioned. So it showed it was at the end. Okay, I don't want to watch like a 2.5 hour video in like one sitting on a stream. I mean, I don't mind watching like 2 hour videos overall. I do like Peter Brook's content though, is quite good. I don't watch a lot of F1 YouTuber stuff nowadays, but yeah, I'm gonna have a look and see. What I'll do is I'll go by like views in the last like week or so. Let's see, view count last week or so. Right, let's see who's got the most views. I bet you Tomo will come up, I reckon. Let's see if Tomo comes up. To be fair, there isn't actually that much. There's an Italian guy, but I don't speak Italian, so yeah. There's not really much I can find, to be honest. Okay, I'll type in old F1 maybe, because then maybe I can react to something that I have a specialty with. Hello to everybody that's watching. We've got old F1 races. Let's see if I can find anything. Old graphics on a modern F1 race. What I'll do is I'll type in F1 history. See if anything comes up. Oh, this guy. Okay, right. Yeah, I'll watch this. I think I started watching this. I watched it and I didn't really like it very much, but I'll watch it. Here we go.
It's 1894 and the first ever motor race has just been held from the French capital of Paris to one of its neighbouring cities, Rouen. Let's set up a championship, said absolutely no one, who raced for another 56 years before finally setting up Formula 1.
So this is a really like ridiculously oversimplified version of it. The whole point of the entire history of these sort of videos is that they're quite like, how can I put it? Because like I was considering making a video like this, but obviously in a hell of a lot more detail. So basically, this guy's just missed out like decades of stuff. So if I had to summarize it, 1906 was when the first Grand Prix was held in France. The first Grand Prix. This was the first under the term Grand Prix. And it was won by a guy called Fernandes, a Hungarian guy who was driving for Renault. And then in 1911, the first ever Indianapolis 500 happened. I forgot who won that. But then the next few years was obviously marked by World War I. when they came back from World War One, Fiat, Alfa Romeo, those kind of guys were, those kind of teams were becoming more and more well known. And this was about the time when Enzo Ferrari started working for Alfa Romeo's racing division as their sort of as their gaffer. And then he split up from them and created Ferrari. So if I had to summarise, it'd be that. There were some amazing drivers such as Henry Seagrave, there was Rudolf Caracciola, there was Bernd Rosemeyer, there was Tazio Nuvolari, who was arguably the best out of the lot of them. There was Guy Moll, who was going to be an incredible talent, but he passed away really young. Pierre Véron, Jean-Pierre Vermeil. There's Carlo Trossi. There was so many good drivers back then. Also, Fernando Mioaya and Giuseppe Campari as well. I like this little edit montage he does here. So that was, what race was that? Let me just go back really quickly. That's Senna and Prost, I think. Vettel, Alonso.
Championship like no other, with fierce competition amongst the world's elite drivers and constructors.
I was gonna say he's gonna pause it and go, this wasn't what it was like in 1950, because all the drivers were in their 40s and 50s and were slightly overweight. If I can just like show you guys what they looked like back then, you'll see what I mean. Actually, no, he's not the best example. The best example is probably this guy. This guy was a Formula 1 driver, right? Let me see if I can find a photo of him. He was nicknamed the Pampas Bull. You can see it there. I mean, he was... Yeah, the drivers weren't as fit as they are now. I think that's the best way of putting it without being, like, mean about it. And also, there was only one competitive team, and that was Alfa Romeo, in the first season anyway. Ferrari weren't competitive. They got podiums, but didn't win. Oh my god, what a goal from themselves. But anyway, that's the Spurs game. But yeah, in 1950, there was only one competitive team, and it was Alfa Romeo. After that, it was Ferrari, and then it was Talbot. But yeah, Alfa Romeo were in a league of their own. They won every race.
Isn't what it looked like though, because unlike today, the sport first started with small privately owned teams who produced cars with little regard for aerodynamics or human safety.
Yeah, what actually happened was, and I don't know if you'll mention this, but a lot of the entries weren't actually factory teams. They were just like drivers who bought their own racing cars. So if I look at like the 1950 World Championship, it'll come up with like the list of teams and drivers, right? And you'll see, if you look at entrants, out of all of these guys, the only ones that were factory were Automobiles Talbot, Gordini, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, that's a couple of Maseratis, Ferrari, and that's it. Nobody else. So, there you go. There was only actually like 4 factory teams. There was Maserati, Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, Talbot, Gordini. Yeah, there really wasn't anything. There wasn't any factory teams apart from those guys. At the start, anyway.
Mechanical problems were common, and most accidents...
Mechanical problems were ridiculously common. I'll give you an example of that. This was in the 60s, but there was one race in 1964. It was the 1964 Monaco Grand Prix, I think it was. And you'll see what I mean when I mean, like, it was unreliable. Look how many cars finished the race. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't that. What year was it in Monaco? Was it 1970 Monaco? It was it was one of the Monaco years. Absolutely nobody finished the race. I don't remember what Monaco Grand Prix it was. Was it 63 or 62? It was one of the Monaco Grand Prix anyway. Only like 4 guys finished the actual race. It was quite mental. I don't know what one it was though. Was it 62? No. What year was it? Where only like 4 cars finished in Monaco. Was it 67? it was the year Bandini died, or was it six? Oh no, I remember now. It was 66. It was 66 because Jackie Stewart won it. Only like 4 cars from 6. See, look, this is what I mean by unreliable. Bob Bondurant was 5 laps down. Only 2 cars were in the lead lap. Only 3 cars finished the race within like 5 minutes. That's how unreliable Formula 1 used to actually be. And as he's going to mention here, a lot of drivers, based on the skull emoji, I'm going to guess he's going to say a lot of drivers died. And yeah, he's spot on in that estimation, because a lot of guys did, unfortunately, pass away. Yeah.
Accidents were fatal. In fact, at any point your car could suddenly break down, sending you to an inevitable death. Surely no one's going to want to join this.
I think that's a little bit too comedical, I think. But yeah. This is 1950 British Grand Prix, first ever Grand Prix. Spa.
Wow, it seems like people really do. And despite the prospect of imminent
Yeah, that's
death,
Austria, I
Formula
think, isn't it?
One train was full steam ahead. A governing body was set up, now called the FIA, and 81 drivers decided to race in 1950, including the
That's a ridiculous amount. And you know why that happened? It was because round by round, basically, drivers would enter only their home race. So like, for example, guys who were Belgian would race in the Belgian Grand Prix, that kind of thing. So I'll give you an example. Johnny Clay's, I think, is a good example of this. Actually no, he raced in most races, actually. I didn't actually realise that. See, if you look at this, if you discount Indy, then there's a lot less drivers. But, for example, Piero Taruffi, Gonsalvo Senesi, Franco Cometti, Clement Biondetti, they all raced in Italy. And then there's other guys who, you know, you got Leslie Johnson, David Murray, Peter Walker and Tony Rawl. They drove in just in Silverstone. And then Nello Pagani and Harry Schell drove in Switzerland. I don't know why why they only drove in Switzerland. Oh, wait, no, Harry Schell drove in another race. See, they drove in like only a couple races, and if you discount Indy, there really wasn't actually that many drivers. How many drivers competed in Indy that year? Let me have a look. Here we go. There was 33 drivers. Now, I'm no mathematician, right? But that means there'd been like 50 odd drivers, I think, that actually drove in F1. And that's Giuseppe Farina, who won the first ever Formula 1 World Championship.
This man, the first ever world champion, Nino Farina, an Italian driver driving for an Italian team. But it's not Ferrari.
Alfa Romeo.
Although it may seem crazy today, Alfa Romeo dominated the first era of Formula 1 alongside Ferrari. They drove pre-war car design.
Well, if you think about it, that wasn't really an era, because it was 2 years where they had like certain regulations, and then they switched it in 1952, so it was Formula 2 cars that were basically driving, and that was when Ferrari dominated. And then after 54, after 53, I should say, which was the last year in which they had Formula 2 regs, it was it was Maserati, Ferrari, Mercedes, Van Wall, and Cooper that were sort of the big competitors. Yeah. BRM as well.
The driver and ran on a budget so small it would give Christian Horner an aneurysm.
That I just knew he was going to say aneurysm there. But yeah, they had no budget. The only thing they could afford was basically just to buy their own car. They had to work on everything themselves.
Said the FIA, who introduced new regulations in 1954, which
this made things a lot better.
Hurt the leading constructors and saw the rise of a new team from way over in Germany,
Mercedes,
who wear lederhosen and eat sausage.
That's racist! Don't be racist towards us. Nah, I'm joking, bro. I don't really care. I don't really care. You can't offend me. I cannot be offended. Oh, I accidentally opened my files tab. You can't offend me.
And who are not really best friends with right now.
Oh. Okay, I think mentioning the Nazis wasn't really relevant, mate.
And who are not really best friends with right now.
Okay.
The team was called Mercedes, who would go on to dominate 2 championships with
Fangio.
Argentine one Manuel Fangio at the helm, before their run of success was put to a dramatic halt after the
1955 24-hour of Le Mans disaster, which killed 83 people, including driver Pierre Levesque.
team's involvement in the deadliest motorsport crash in history. The 1955 Le Mans disaster saw the...
So, oh my, yeah, that's the car that got set alight. So, if I can just pause it at the right shot there.
The 1955 Le Mans disaster...
So on the left there, that's Mike Hawthorne, who's pulling off into the pits. Lance Macklin's there. He was trying to brake to avoid hitting Hawthorne's back end, and Levesque was coming up fast behind them, and he hit the back of his car and then flew into the barriers. He hit Lance Macklin and flew into the barriers. Yet he flew so high, and like he crashed, and monocoque went everywhere. There was fire. 200 people got injured. 83 people died. Yeah, it was horrible. And do you know what's even more remarkable, right? In Levesque's last moment, he put his hand up like this, because you can't see him in the photo, but behind him was Fangio. And he told Fangio, basically, there's going to be an accident and be careful, basically.
Saw the deaths of 84 people, including
84 people, sorry, 83 spectators in Levesque.
Driver Pierre Levesque. And although no one was to blame for the crash, Mercedes withdrew from motorsport entirely for...
Some people blame Hawthorne because he broke really suddenly, but I think blaming someone in an accident like that's immaterial, I think.
years.
The drone age has begun in the large-scale military online action game War Thunder. Experience.
Moving on, are you tired of your engine being in front of your car? Do you want a new design that gains you...
So this is when he's going to mention Cooper's rear engine design with Whiskers Maddock and the father and son Cooper team, John and I think Henry, I think his name was, Cooper. Yeah, they revolutionized Formula 1 with that idea. The first time was they actually won it was 1958. It was the Argentine Grand Prix. They won with Sterling Moss, and then they won again in Monaco with Maurice Trintignant. And in 1959 they went full time with it and they won the championship.
Performance and championships. We'll try the new mid...
Here's Graham Hill.
Coming to a paddock near you. It's the late 1950s, and after the fall of Mercedes, Ferrari and Alfa Romeo, Formula 1 is wide open for the taking.
France.
Oi, Brav. What's that? It's the UK.
So this is when the British invasion happened, not only in music with the likes of the Animals, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, but also in Formula 1. So this is when Lotus, BRM, and Cooper rose to the top and competed for the championship. And I think the landmark moment was 1958. That's when the invasion begun, because it was the year Van Wall won the Constructors. They were from Britain. And the top 5 in the driver standings were British. Mike Hawthorne won it. Second place was Sterling Moss. Third was Tony Brooks. Fourth was Peter Collins. And fifth was Roy Salvadori. All 5 of them were British. Salvadori had Italian ancestry, but he was from, I think it was Essex or Surrey he was from. So, yeah. And that was when the invasion happened. The only year between 1958 and 1960... Gosh. 1967... This... Okay, so every year from 1958 all the way until like 1974, I think it was, there was at least one Brit that either won the championship or won the team's championship, because one British team or one British driver, because Cooper won 1959 and 1960. Only year it didn't happen was 1961, because Phil Hill was American and he drove for Ferrari. 1962, Graham Hill and BRM. 1963, Jim Clark and Lotus. 1964, Surtees, who was British and Ferrari. And then 65 was Clark and Lotus. 66 was Brabham, who's in his own team, which was based in Britain. Same with 1967 with Denny Hulme. 68, Graham Hill won it with Lotus. 69, Jackie Stewart won it with Matra. 1970, Jochen Rindt won it with Lotus, who were a British team. 71, Stewart won it with Tyrrell. 72, Fittipaldi won it with Lotus. 73, Stewart won it with Tyrrell again. 74, Fittipaldi won it with McLaren. And 75 was when it ended.
Who love one thing more than tea and biscuits, and that's world domination. But this time in the motor race...
yeah, less said about colonialisation, the better, I suppose.
Through the development of mid-engine cars, which went on to wreck the pre-war
1966 Grand Prix.
designs used by Italian teams, leading to 5 new British world champions.
That's exactly what I mentioned there. Like Hawthorne, Graham Hill, Jim Clark, John Surtees, and Jackie Stewart.
Elsewhere, F1 has begun expanding overseas, with 4 new races in Canada, the USA, Mexico, and South Africa. These two have just set up their own private teams
Frank Williams and Bruce McLaren.
called McLaren and Williams, and Formula One constructors need more financial support than ever before.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
In the 1970s,
Oh.
Formula One started getting pretty expensive.
So yeah, he kind of skipped a whole decade there, but if I had to summarise it, he kind of got the most of it right. One thing he forgot to mention was that the formula changed in 1966. So the engines changed, so it got a lot more dangerous. I remember I interviewed Jackie Stewart about this, and he said that was one of the turning points, I suppose. The change in the formula in 1966 from 1.5 litre to 3 litre engines. People forget about that. Yeah, that was quite important. And also, you know, Jim Clark passed away. That's probably quite an important event to mention. Jochen Rindt became the only posthumous world champion in 1970. I know what this guy is doing though. He's not running through like drivers who made an impact on the sport. He's looking at like just the general, like global appeal of it, I think. But yeah, I'd look at it from a different perspective from him. Oh.
Expensive through endless crashes, regulation changes, and life insurance. But
Yeah, Niki Lauda had to sign that.
teams have just found a way around it by allowing brands to advertise their products during a race in exchange for a fee. And they would start to advertise anything that paid well. Condoms, cigarettes, musicians.
Yeah, so Durex sponsored 30s in the 70s. ABBA sponsored this guy called Slim Borgud, who was a racing driver, and he also was a pal of Bjorn Ulvaeus from ABBA, one of the bees in ABBA. And that's how he got sponsored by them. And then Marlboro had like an association with McLaren and later on with Ferrari. Philip Morris International's the name of the brand.
And even today, sponsorship still remains a huge part of the sport. To the
Of course
point
it does.
where it looks like 6ix9ine just shapeshifted onto the new RB90
That is true.
chassis. This racing thing's pretty cool, said hotshots Niki Lauda and James Hunt, becoming the two faces of the sport in the mid-1970s.
Indeed.
Lauda, the face of professionalism and hard work, and Hunt, the face of cigarettes, champagne and models. He was a bit of a legend. The two would give fans the closest title fight yet in 1976, with Lauda and Ferrari putting up a dramatic title defense against Hunt and McLaren. Despite Lauda almost...
So let me get this right. This guy, right, he mentions the Lauda-Hunt rivalry, but he forgets to mention, for me anyway, the greatest season finale in Formula 1 history, which was in 1964, when Surtees, Hill, or Clark could all win it. And in the end, it came down to the last lap of the season. Because what happened was, and I'll try and summarise it briefly. So, Hill was the favourite to win the title. Hill was leading the championship. I think he was a few points ahead of Clark. I think he was 3 points ahead of Surtees and 5 points ahead of Clark. And at the beginning of the race, Hill got shunted by Surtees' teammate Lorenzo Bandini. So he was out of the race. That left Surtees and Clark to duel out for the title. Clark dominated the race. He led from start to finish until the very last lap. And he was set to win the title. He was first. Surtees was in third place. It was in fourth place, I think. And not enough would have been done for Clark to not win the title. And then Clark, Jim Clark had his usual bad luck. So he had an oil leak on his car, and that meant that he basically got shafted. He dropped in the order and he finished 6th in the end. Surtees finished 2nd because his teammate let him through, and he won the title. Or no, he finished 3rd, sorry, and won the title.
At the Nürburgring, the championship went down to the last race at the Japanese Grand Prix, with Hunt clinching his first and only title in the dying laps of the race.
See, that's not what actually happened. Alan Jones was the one who was actually ahead. I think it was. I'll see if I'm right in saying that. I'm not looking for the band, I'm looking for the film. Let's see. Yeah, see, it was actually Alan Jones that he passed. So Surtees were set for their first podium in it was like 4 or 5 years, 3 years, and in the end, what actually happened was Hunt overtook him right at the end. So it wasn't Regazzoni that he passed, as it said on the timing screens there. Depire did finish 2nd. Hang on a sec.
Japanese Grand Prix, with Hunt clinching his first and only title in the dying.
Yeah, so it says Hunt was 5th there. I don't know if Ward Watson actually finished in that race. Trying to find where the race was. Where was it? Right, let's see if I can find Watson didn't even finish the race. He retired on lap 33 with an engine problem. So that's another inaccuracy there. Because I know the timing screens were slow, but they weren't that slow. Come on.
Laps of the race.
Did Lafitte finish 5th in that race? And that's like Jacques Lafitte finished 7th. So that's another inaccuracy. There's loads of inaccuracies with that bit. But
It's the late 1970s.
Oh, Clyde wasn't that annoyed. He was annoyed, but you know, he said to James Hunt, if I wanted anybody to win it, it would be you.
Constructor sucks for a lot of reasons. Formula 1 is racing in over 5 different continents, which is barely feasible for private teams. Each track controls the advertising and prize money of their individual Grand Prix, and the sports governing body, the FISA, dictate all the rules, regulations, and commercial rights. I know what.
And this is when the problems arise between FISA and FOCA. So FISA were the FIA basically back then, and FOCA were the Formula 1 Constructors Association, so it was all the teams, and most of the teams started rioting in the early 80s.
What to do, said Bernie Eccleston, forming the...
There he is.
Formula 1
Hang on a second, let me just find... Where was it? Was it 20...
Said Bernie Eccleston.
So that's Max Mosley next to Bernie Ecclestone. So Max Mosley ended up becoming the FIA president, and Bernie Ecclestone ended up becoming Formula 1 president. So what happened was Bernie became the head of FOCA, and what happened then was he then bought the rights to Formula 1.
And forming the Formula 1 Constructors Association,
FOCA.
which leveled the playing field going into the ground effect era, which was an era of huge change in Formula 1. New technology has been introduced with
Benetton, Gerhard Berger in
the use
1986.
of side pods. A Brazilian called Nelson Piquet is winning championships in both motor racing and Muay Thai kickboxing.
Yeah, less said about Nelson Piquet the better.
And there are a couple of rookies in town
Alain
who
Prost,
can only be described
Ayrton Senna.
with one word.
Destruction.
Greatness.
Gotta appreciate the editing here. Well, my favorite clip of Ayrton Senna is when he's at Adelaide, and I think 86 it was, and he's just wrestling the car around, and he's got so much car control. Thinking about it now gives me goosebumps, man. what a driver. I think he was the greatest. But he missed, and by the way, I'm not pointing out all the things he's done wrong here. I'm just saying, things to add on to it. But he missed the part about Foka and Fisa having the whole rivalry. Ground effect being banned in 1982 after Didier Pironi's accident. There's a bit he missed, but to be fair, he did condense it into 12 minutes, so I get why.
Who are these guys? Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna, who started their rise in Formula 1 during the mid-1980s. Prost was simply...
Well, actually, Prost began his upward tick in the early 80s. 81 to 83, he was at Renault, and he was phenomenal there. He won multiple races in 81. He won the French Grand Prix in 81. And to be honest, he never deserved Renault, because Renault's car reliability, for lack of a better word, was stinky. 1982, right? Renault had half the poles with him and René Arnoux, and he only finished a few races, so he didn't actually win the title in the end.
Sensational, winning the 1985 and 1986 championships with McLaren, and Senna
That's why he moved to McLaren.
had a driving style so mesmerising that it actually made you forget that he was in a relationship with a 15-year-old at the time. McLaren believed that these two would be a
yeah, we don't talk about that either.
great pairing, which honestly makes me question what they were smoking out of the exhaust pipes, because instead it led to a fierce rivalry with two championships ending in dramatic fashion in Japan. I mean, seriously, what did they expect to happen? It's 1992, and Williams have just developed a technology
Active suspension, Adrian Newey, Nigel Mansell.
called active suspension. Hey, why don't we use it to dominate the grid for 2 years? Said Williams, using it to dominate the grid for 2 years, which saw Nigel Mansell and Alain Prost win back-to-back championships with the team. Heading into the 1994 season...
Okay, yeah, this is when he's going to mention Senna dying, isn't he?
Formula 1 was set for one of its most exciting years yet. Ayrton Senna moved to Williams, replacing the retiring Prost. Newcomer Michael Schumacher was given a competitive car at Benetton, and Ferrari had hopes of a rebound year, with Gerhard
Yeah, Ferrari were absolutely dreadful.
Berger and Jean Alesi at the wheel. Oh boy, what an exciting year this will be.
Yeah, let's just... yeah. Fade to black. Now. Okay, I think he maybe did that a little bit late. If I was him, I would have cut it off. I would have cut it off about here. It's like at 6:20.
The 1994 San Marino Grand Prix to this day remains the most devastating weekend of Formula 1's history, with 2 fatalities in 2 days. A crash at
Well, the 6-day Belgian Grand Prix was really bad as well, because Alan Stacey and Chris Bristol both died during the race, and Sterling Moss and I think it was Willie Marazzi both got seriously injured. And I think because of Marazzi's injuries, I think I don't know if it was that accident that stopped him from being able to race, but it was one of his accidents that stopped him from being able to race. And he actually ended up committing suicide because of it.
Villeneuve during qualifying saw the death of Roland Ratzenberger, and on lap 7 of the race, 3-time world champion Ayrton Senna experienced a steering column failure at a speed of 109.
Right, this is the part where I think he's actually... How can I put it? He's like going something off of like... It's not a fact. It's a rumour, and he's stating it as a fact. And I think it's a little bit dangerous, because it's not confirmed that it was a steering column failure. Oh, Villa have just scored. It wasn't a steering column failure. It's not confirmed to have been that anyway. It might have been, but it's not confirmed to have been that.
92 miles an hour, which saw the Brazilian have a fatal crash at the Tamburello corner. This would prove to be a serious...
It wasn't actually the impact that killed him either. It was the... If the halo had existed in 1994, Senna wouldn't have died. Because it was actually the suspension hitting his helmet that killed him. And this guy here, Nicola Larini, this was his only F1 podium. He was filling in because I think Jean Alesi was injured, or Gerhard Berger, one of them was injured, and he got a podium He fell down, he got a podium, and he couldn't celebrate.
This wake-up call to the FIA, who believed that F1 cars were inherently safe despite the dramatic speed increase over the previous 8 years. And after the crash, many of the Williams personnel were investigated due to the belief that it was a mechanical failure that caused the crash.
Well, that was what the manslaughter laws were like in Italy back then, because if there was a single-seater crash, right, and the person died, it'd be the owner of the team that'd get the blame for it. It wouldn't be, you know, natural cause. It wouldn't be, you know, oh, it was an incident. It was nobody's fault.
We're forgetting something. Press
In the boot.
lights.
Dave.
Doors.
Locked.
Alarm.
On.
Let's get back to the racing now, because 1994, despite being overshadowed by the deaths of Ratzenberger and Senna, still had one of the closest title fights ever between Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill. The two drivers were split by nothing the whole season and arrived at the final race in Australia just 1 point apart. And this race would see the third controversial ending to a championship in just 5 years, when the two made contact in a crash that was potentially caused by Schumacher, knowing...
Right, this is going to sound really unpopular, right? But if you see the crash, right, it was 100% Hill's fault, in my opinion. If I can find... I'm trying to, it's taking a while to load, but basically, right, Schumacher was in front of him, and Hill came from miles back. Like, Hill still moans about it to this day. Damon Hill moaning about not winning the championship in 94 gives me the same, like, vibes as Peter Shilton moaning about Maradona's hand of God. Because it happened like years ago, and yeah, like even when Maradona died, Peter Shilton was still like really salty about it, and he actually publicly spoke about it in a really negative manner. I don't know if the stream's still working or not, because I'm having a lot of lag. Okay, stream's still working. My phone battery's dead, so I don't know why this isn't loading. Right, we got a bit into the video. What I'll do is I'll try and get it back up again. I'm trying to close the other app so it runs a little bit quicker, maybe. Oh, Spurs are trying to get an equaliser here. They're 2-1 down against Villa. Kulusevski beats his man. Oh. This is really weird. Why is it taking so long to load? I don't know why it's taking so long to load. I'm gonna be like this for a minute, guys, because I'm trying to sort this out. It's really weird. My Internet Explorer isn't working. That's really odd. Let's see if this will work. I'll try Google Chrome and see if that works. Nah, I'll use Internet Explorer. Oh, VAR for a foul. Right, hang on. I'll see if I can get the video back up, because I'm trying to... Hang on, what was the... where is it? Roman Hill, there we go.
Who are these guys? Alain Prost and in Australia just one. Until 3 years later.
Oh wait, hang on.
Contact in a crash that was potentially caused by Schumacher, knowing full well it would lead to his first world title. Despite
potentially, probably. I totally disagree with that, like I said. I'll see if I can find the... Oh, what was I going to say again? Yeah, so 1994 Australia. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for this. Right, this is it here. For me, right, this is completely... I'll mute it. I can't wait to see the comments going, Schumacher's fault. Right, watch this. So Schumacher's in the lead. Right, Hill's just behind him. Schumacher loses the rear of the car. Right, he keeps going. Schumacher would have made the corner, right? Hill goes from miles back, right? If you pause it there, right? Where is it? No, hang on, it was a bit further back than that. Where was it? Right, so here, Schumacher is driving a bit erratically, yes, I know, but Hill is not even side by side with Schumacher. Schumacher has the right to turn in on him there. It sounds like a really unpopular opinion, right? His reaction afterwards is a little bit like, maybe it was deliberate, right? But I don't think that was his fault personally. I think it was...
Despite all the controversy around it, no action was taken against Schumacher, and he would never try any antics like this ever again.
Until 3 years later.
Until 3 years later, when he did the same thing to Jacques Villeneuve, got disqualified from the 1997 championship, and was publicly ridiculed by the mainstream media.
That was his fault, I'll admit that. 2000, a new millennium and a new era in Formula 1. The World Championship is in the hands of McLaren and Mika Häkkinen, Michael Schumacher is hunting his first title for Ferrari and third as a driver, and Formula 1 cars have a new soundtrack through the introduction Listen
of
to
the
this.
V10
This
engine.
is, for lack of better words, erotic. Mood.
At this point, no driver had won more than 2 titles in a row for over 4 decades. But Ferrari and Schumacher were about to change that, winning 5 championships in a row, including 2 title battles with Mika Häkkinen and Kimi Räikkönen, and 3 years of complete supremacy. Like in 2000...
Yeah, he dominated in 2002 and 2004. He didn't have 3 years of supremacy. He had 2 years of supremacy, and then 3 title battles in 2000, 2001, and 2003. 2003... probably one of the greatest F1 seasons ever.
2002.
He finished on the podium in every race in 2002. I bet you that's what he's going to mention.
Where Ferrari finished the season with the same amount of points as every other team in the championship combined.
Wow.
Knock, knock. Who's there? It's an energy drink company who have just bought out Jaguar and joined the Formula 1 grid. Elsewhere, Renault have a
Fernando
superstar in their hands. Fernando Alonso, a 22-year-old Spaniard who pulls off moves which defy the laws of physics and is ready to end Ferrari's run of 5 consecutive titles by becoming the youngest ever double world champion. I want to be great again, said McLaren, who went into the 2007 season with an all-new driver lineup and a brand new plan that would bring them championship success. The plan involved signing the defending champion Alonso.
This was never going to work. Never. After 4 races, you realize it wasn't going to work.
An inexperienced rookie to ensure no competition in the team. What's the worst?
And then Hamilton went surprise mother effer and just kicked his button.
So yeah, it turns out McLaren made a very slight error which faulted their master plan. Because instead of signing an inexperienced rookie, they signed Lewis Hamilton, who
And Lewis Hamilton was literally the greatest rookie in Formula 1 history. They are. Better than Villeneuve. Better than Jackie Stewart in 65. Phenomenal.
raced like a veteran from the start, sparking a number of debates and controversies at McLaren over the season, like Spygate, when the team was fined £100 million for being in possession of confidential Ferrari.
And the funniest thing is, right, that all started because some guy went into a print shop, right? I think it was Nigel Stepney. Went into, or was it Mike Gascoigne? It was one of those two. Went into it was Mike Gascoigne went into a printer shop, right? And asked for some information. And the guy at the till asked if he could print stuff off. And the guy saw what he was printing off. And he was a Ferrari fan, and he ratted to Ferrari about it in the FIA. Oh, that guy, whistleblower.
Ironically, it was Ferrari who
in the end, Ferrari won the title because of the in-house bickering between McLaren drivers Hamilton and Alonso.
Although Hamilton would eventually win out the next year with an overtake at the last corner of the final race.
It's that Glock. You really should have put the audio clip in of James Allen going, "Is that Glock?" This was a phenomenal season.
2009, a year which shaped the landscape of Formula 1 with a new regulation change by the FIA. Used the regulations to produce a dominant car. And that's exactly what Brawn did to perfection, which allowed them to bring title success to Jenson Button before the three teams with bigger budgets could catch up for the next season. It's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's a bat.
Hey!
Steve Vettel, who Red Bull gave wings in the early 2010s, which allowed the German to win 4 consecutive
2010, 2012. Vettel and Schumacher both had like the same thing, right? Where they had 2 years where they were completely dominant. Now, obviously, Schumacher won 5 in a row, Vettel won 4 in a row. But Vettel had 2 years where he had challenges, and that was 2012 with Alonso and 2010 with Alonso and Webber, Hamilton, and at one point Button.
World titles, including 2 extremely close championship battles and 2 years of record-breaking dominance. Going into the turbo hybrid era, Prime Vettel was simply unstoppable. But the introduction...
And then Mercedes did some illegal stuff, apparently. Got like some illegal testing and stuff
V6
like that.
hybrid...
And they started development on their engines in 2012.
Led to a new era of dominance in Formula 1 when a constructor returned after 55 years.
2010 was when they came back. I don't know why I'm dancing. This is when Formula 1 was really boring. No, I'm joking.
Mercedes were back with a vengeance, producing a car.
The cars sounded terrible, and they looked terrible as well.
With supreme aerodynamics and phenomenal engine power, which blew out all competition for several years. Although this meant that a conflict.
Yeah.
Started between their drivers, Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, in a rivalry coined the Silver War, which saw the 2 trade championships and dominate the grid for 3 years before Rosberg's retirement in 2016. What happened?
Rosberg won and then just was like, nah.
Next,
Lewis and Seb, the kindest rivalry you'll see.
Lewis Hamilton goes on to win 4 more titles, and the team dominate the competition until the final year of the turbo hybrid era.
And this is when the controversy ends.
In 2021, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton underwent one of the closest and most grueling championship battles in history. They were split by almost nothing the entire season. Some days Verstappen was ahead, some days Hamilton was ahead, some days they were side by side, and on one occasion, they were on top of each other. It was kind of hot.
I knew he was gonna say something like that.
Wire, with several crashes and controversies leading up to the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where Max Verstappen converted pole into race victory to win his first world title in a race that was straightforward, not controversial in the slightest, and didn't cause the complete...
Look at all of these people talking about it. And then you got Piers Morgan, who I absolutely despise.
Irreparable destruction of Formula 1.
The amount of people, oh my days, yeah.
On a completely unrelated note, there was a change in F1's race directors going into the next season, which saw new regulations and another record be broken after Max Verstappen won 15 races in a single season to take his 2nd title. And that pretty much...
And then he won 19 this season, so... Yeah, that was a sort of... that was a really... Oh, I just realised my head wasn't even in the camera for some of it. That was a sort of summarization of that, in a way. Yeah, we've still got another 45 minutes to chill, I suppose. I'm probably gonna go and get something to eat in a minute because yeah, I'm quite hungry. So I will probably go on a break, and yeah, I don't know if they have like a be right back screen or not, but yeah. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute, guys. I'm gonna go and get something to eat really quickly. Right, I'm back now. Hang on, I was getting something to eat. Trying to sort this out. I hate the fact that this is so sensitive. Nope. Right, tell you what. watcher. No, thank you. I just realised I've got this. Hang on a sec, guys. I'm just trying to. There. I wonder would this work? There we go. That's better, I think. Because then I've got my microphone here. Nah. Right, I'm trying to figure out how to get it comfy and everything. Please. Okay, I think this is okay. I think the Man United lineups are out now, so I'm gonna go and edit these. Okay, so... Oh, Kobbie Mainoo is starting! Is Rasmus in the bench? No, Rasmus isn't playing. Okay, interesting. Kobbie Mainoo starting today. So, Amrabat's not starting, it's Kobbie Mainoo that's starting. Dalot instead of Wan-Bissaka. And... Martial instead of Hoyland. And then Everton's lineup is Pickford. Oh, they're playing so they're playing with Young instead of Patterson, I think. And then it's Gueye, Garner. So Onana's not starting. Gueye is the one who's starting in the midfield. Kind of Gueye. And then we've got Doucoure, McNeil, Harrison, and yeah. So not many changes for either team compared to what I was expecting. Yeah. Most of the team is what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting Kobbie Mainoo to start, so that's quite interesting. Luke's not going to be back for another half an hour yet, so I'm basically just going to be talking to you guys and just going to be chilling, to be honest. I'm going to do one more bit of... Oh, my phone battery's dead, isn't it? So I can't self-promote that stuff. That's so annoying. Right. Oh, I just realised I don't need to have to, like, give permission for to tweet. Oh, I'm already logged in, that's good, right. Hang on a second. Everton. and then I need to find the stream and copy it in. Where is it? Okay. I'm gonna see, can I edit the title now of the stream? I'm a bit confused. How do I edit my stream? There we go, I can edit it. Everton, Manchester United live stream. Okay. And I'll write my own description of it. So I'll be a few minutes, guys. I'm just sorting this out. Hello everybody, if you're joining from Twitter or X as they call it now. I am currently just working on my stream settings. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to like see the chat, but I can't. It's a bit annoying. I don't want to see my face. I want to see the chat. I hate this. Please let me just see the chat. Nope, it's not that. Right. Have received a okay, so hang on. Right. And okay, there we go. Right, I've done it now. I've gotten all the stuff set up, so I'll just go and go full screen again on this. I don't think we have any viewers right now, but hello if there's anybody watching. Yeah, currently we're just chilling, waiting for Man United game to begin. It's not going to start for a little bit yet because Spurs game is currently still on. Oh, I put the wrong one. It's international break. So as it stands, Aston Villa will go on to 28 points. Man United win, they go on to 24. So Man United will only be 6 points off the top of the league, which is Arsenal, after 13 games, sorry. Which isn't actually that bad, to be fair. But yeah, not much is really happening at the moment. I'm just like scrolling through, seeing if there's anything. Apparently, right, I've got full brightness, but I don't really. Oh, I can see it. I can see it now. I thought I didn't have full brightness there. What I might do is I might actually go into this for a little bit. Just look through my Twitter feed. I know it's called X. Leave me alone. Interesting about ART. Some of these comments, man. Stand on a butterfly once and this happens. Oh my god. Oh, shout out to Paul De Vries from Estonia in 22nd in the championship. P22 in the Championship. What a 2023 Formula 1 seat that is for economically depriving seat device. I'm guessing that's Joey's referring to. First Japanese leader in 20 years, that's pretty cool. Oh my god, this guy is literally the same age as me. He's an esports driver, meanwhile I'm sitting at home watching Aston Villa v Tottenham. It's a bit weird to think about. But yeah, I can just